should be a global solution. Who thinks that this is just an American problem, climate change? How arrogant we Americans are that we just think that we're the only ones that suffer this. These are complex issues. But let me tell you one thing with respect to Iowa. I am opposed to ethanol. Ethanol is going the wrong way, and these are tax advantages that are given to large corporations, and all it is, and let me put this real pointed to you, it is screwing the average farmer. To produce a gallon of equivalent gasoline of ethanol takes 12,000 gallons of water. If this generation continues to go at the water table like they're doing to produce ethanol, the farmers of the next generation won't be able to farm in Iowa. And that is a national policy that is absolutely the stupidest policy that we could devise. There are ways that we can solve these problems. And farmers in Iowa know what I'm talking about. We've disrupted the wheat market. We've disrupted these other countries that on production. And also Archer Daniel Midland and a few other countries can rip it off from the taxpayers. I've had it up to here with that. And I become president, we're going to look at this thing a lot more thoroughly than we do now. And if we're going to have help to the farmers, let's make sure it gets to the farmers that need the help, not the farmers that are clipping coupons and living in Florida during the wintertime. I do know there's a gas problem, there's a methane problem. You want to know where the problem is coming from? It's not the hogs in Iowa, it's coming from the tundra melting in Alaska. It's releasing more methane than all of the world's population put together, including the hogs. And then we're proud of the Brazilians, well, what they're doing using ethanol with sugar, not any more efficient. Let me tell you, that what they're doing is they're ruining the sinkhole, the environmental sinkhole of the world by pushing back the Amazon forest so they can get into cane manufacturing and growing. We just need some leadership in this country. Hey, it's our first problem. If we keep up the way we're doing, we're going to cook, the human race is going to cook itself off the planet in the next century. And I don't know where it's at. And I don't think any scientists know where that. Are we beyond the tipping point? I don't know. I just know that we can produce energy. And I'll make a pledge. I have some business friends of mine who say, Gravel, don't make this pledge. It lacks credibility. They're wrong. I'll make this pledge. I become president of the United States and empower the American people to make laws. I will get you off of gasoline in 5 years, and I'll get you off of carbon in 10 years. The Congress will never pass a carbon tax. I will ask the American people, who are a lot more intelligent than their leaders, say, hey, we got a problem. We got to deal with it. Let's put on a carbon tax, not just for America. We'll ask other countries to do the same thing, join on an international organization that we can lead. We'll put up the most money, and then we'll turn around and use and unite the scientific and engineering communities together in the world to get us off of carbon in a decade. That's what we can do. But with windmills, we could turn around and install 500 wind devices. Not 500, I'm sorry, 5 million. 5 million wind devices. A farmer will be able to make more money off a windmill than he will be able to off of what he grows on the acre. And he can still grow something because the footprint of this windmill is so small. If we have 5 million windmills across the country, we electrify the entire nation. We can close all of the coal plants, we can close the nuclear plants, we can electrify the country and and there's no pollution. We can begin to restructure the grid. Here, I got to tell you, in Iowa and other parts of the country, you're looking at rolling blackouts in 3 years. All it takes is leadership to point this out and prepared to do it. But when people who run for office sell out to anybody that's prepared to buy them, so I've been thinking, we all know that money is the corrupting agent of politics. Well, isn't it interesting? The networks are telling you that this person is viable because they've raised $50, $100 million. All they're demonstrating is that those who've raised the most money are the most corrupt. Isn't it interesting how we anoint our leaders?